with you all my ephemera pockets or my ephemera organizer, and I didn't make a lot of these because I felt that I didn't need them. I didn't need a lot of them because I like to organize my embellishments like this when I'm working on a project, not to store. Okay, so I work on multiple projects at one time, so I felt the need. I need more. All right, so instead of doing this using my acetate sheets, I have a box of these. I have a lot of them, or at least 100. And this is what I use to store my stamps. So I cut them all down to, I think 9 by 7 1/4 so that they fit my largest stamp. So this is what I use for that. And I was like, wait a minute, I have these plastic sleeves that I can use. They're 9 by 13 that I can use this for my ephemera organizer or my embellishment organizer. So let me show you how I do it. And it's just going to be easier than this because you have to hold them in place here, which is a little bit challenging. So I'm going to put my folder in here, my self-healing mat in here so I can cut just through one side. Okay, and that way I'll be able to just have to sew. Let's see. Yeah, so I sew this here. Cut, yep, same deal. All right, so I'm going to cut. I don't like them too deep. So I cut them at about 2 inches, and I'll tell you what that is in just a minute. And I'll go all the way to the end because, so I'm about 2 1/4 inches. And I go all the way to the end because this one I'll cut a little deeper. Because I still have to seal it on this side, so why not? And then this one I'll cut just 2 1/4 inches, and I'll just do them all 3 inches. What the heck? All right, and this one will be up there. Okay, so I've got my pieces done. So as you can see, truly no rhyme or reason. Now I'm just going to go through the sewing machine and sew all the way up this way. All right, so let me do that. Get my water out of the way. So just bear with me while I sew this. And I don't want to go. I'm going to give myself a pretty good, I'm going to back stitch because I don't want it to, unravel on me. And I'm just going to stitch it as best I can. It doesn't have to be gorgeous. All right. This is my first one making with this material here, so we'll see how it turns out, right? But I don't see why it shouldn't work. All right, so I did my first stitch. So I've got my first pocket right here. See that? My first pocket. So now I'm just going to sew the bottoms. All right, and that way I have what I need. All right, so let me get there. And again, I'm doing a back stitch because I don't want it to unravel. So back stitch at the beginning and at the end. And this is much faster than my acetate, and I'm not wasting my acetate. I mean, I have these sheets here. Use what you have, guys, okay? I have these pouches, so why not use them? Going back again, and then cutting, okay. All right, so here's my, okay, now I have to figure out which side. Okay, oh, this way. So here's my first one. Yep, because the stitching's on this side. I wanted to make sure. Here's my first one. Here's my second one. Now I'm going to do my third one. Okay, so I'm doing right here. Wait a minute. I get confused. Oh, I see what I did. I flipped it over. That's why I was confused. And this way I can organize my embellishments for this new project I'm working on, because I really hate having to look through stacks of embellishment. It's just so annoying. I like to be able to see everything at once so that I don't miss anything good. And it's just so much faster. All right, so here we go. So 1, this way. 1, 2, and 3. Now sewing my last one. So I'm just simply going to, so I gotta sew there, right? So I'm gonna go here. Let me make sure I don't screw that one up. Yeah, okay, great. I have to think for a minute. Oh, I think I ran out of, darn it. I ran out of, I'm just making a hole. I ran out of bobbining, finally. Okay, I'll do that later on. But just to show you what we got going on here, guys. I couldn't complete my last one. So here are my embellishments for the current project I'm working on. That way, now I can organize them and I don't have to worry. So you can make them as deep as you want, as shallow as you want. This is the beauty about this. So, and I can keep my sets together, right? And I can see what I have instead of having to go through this pile every single time I need to find an embellishment, which is very, very annoying. Okay, and just shove them in there. So see, like this one I would put at the bottom here because I can see that that's luggage, right? I'm not going to fill it up too much because I still have to sew that one. I'll have 2 of these cameras together, so I'll try to put things that are the same. My next one I will make it much more shallower because I don't like it. I don't like them that deep. Now what I will say about this versus the acetate is a lot stiffer. So when you put your embellishments all the way down to the end, they stay there. These, they don't fall out, but I will tell you that they kind of just get pinched in between the layers when you sew them with acetate. Okay, that's all I will say about that. But this is still fabulous. So if you have these pouches, they're open on the bottom and on the side. I don't know what they're called, forgive me, but they're for filing, you know, office supply type of pouches. You can use these to create these ephemera or embellishment organizers. All right, that's all. All right, guys, so here it is all finished up. All right, so I don't want you to think that you lose the back, you know, the ability to flip it and see the back of it, right? Because this has a paper in between, so you get to use the back. So if you're using this, what you're going to do is, make sure I have 2 of them. You're going to put it behind. If you don't have front and back, then you would flip it, right? The white side. So instead of doing this, you see the white behind it? What you would do is you just flip it over and you technically have a back. All right, so you can still use the back side of this, all right, which makes it super fabulous. So I'll put these, make sure I get it all the way in the back. So you look like you can't see what's back there, but you can. it's back there. You don't get to see the whole thing, but you get to see enough of it, right? So just because I don't want the ability to lose the back. So I guess you can stuff it as much or as little as you want. You don't have to stuff it the way I do. You can make as many as you want of these or as little as you want of these. Again, I like to keep my embellishments in a baggie before I work on a project. Like I only sort them like this when I'm going to work on a project. So I don't get my paper, cut them out, and create one of these for every single embellishment pack. I do it just for the embellishments that I'm working with for a specific project. So I'm gonna make a few more of these and just keep it going, and I think they're fantastic. They worked out beautifully. I love it. So this will be my new method for my embellishment organizers.